Yo everybody, my name is GrampasPace, and in this video there's gonna be a lot of elbow pushing and there's gonna be a lot of side-by-side action. Stay tuned. So in the previous week of the daily races, in Daily Race B, there was a short sprint race of 4 laps in Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, which had the no chicane layout. So for that I had to buy a new car, of course, which is the Porsche. And it was very good in cornering. So of course, as you can see, I bought all the tires and I got myself a one-piece livery. It's looking really sick actually, just check it out. You can see it all in fast motion right here. So as we carry on, we're going into a qualifying lap, and this was a pretty good first qualifying lap after a few laps of practice, which was 140.48. which I'm very proud of because it's only 2 seconds away from the top 20 leaderboard of the time. So that was pretty good in my opinion. So this was my mini warm-up that I had, and jumping on right into the race, I start in P4, which is a very good position to start in. So as we go into the first corner right behind Potato, I kind of overshoot the corner and shove them a little bit wide. So I just wanted to let them go and they could have the position back, as you can see, and I did not want to pass them in such a dirty way. As we can see, Potato has went a little bit too wide over there. That will give them dirty tires, and they actually also outbrake themselves, which grants me a free position to the podium. So that is really good stuff right there. And jumping along to lap number 3 already, nothing much has happened honestly. Standing here the fastest sector, and the Brazilian just goes off and hits the wall behind me. So all I need to do is just keep it together. I'm gonna jump into the final part of this lap, and I brake way too late, giving Torix here the opportunity to snag P2 away from me. And I'm just gonna sit behind them and say, hey, well, you know what, I kind of screwed that up over, so it's kind of your position to take, but I really hope I can manage to bring it back. And that was it for the whole race. This is the finish line right here, and I finished in P3. This was a very good start, as so I thought, since, you know, I start P4, finish in P3. This was the first race that I've done in this daily race. So we're gonna jump on to the next race, which I start in P5 since Seamus has come into the mix, and we're gonna carry on right into the first corner of the race. As we get into the 100-meter board, I do brake just in time, and that was pretty close to Potato honestly. But we're gonna carry on into this long right-hander, gonna accelerate right now, and I actually accelerated way too early, which kind of lets me go wide over here. But coming onto this right corner, I didn't brake as much as I wanted to, and as we can see, this have happened, I'm sure, to any one of us at some point in time. And from P5 I go down all the way to P12, which is not good in the slightest, and it's gonna be a fight back right from the very back. Hopefully I can get at least to P5 or top 5. That would be great. So Magoo over there has run wide, and as we go into this right corner right here, we can see in the distance that Vroom over here just punts off Castor right into the wall. And let's check out the replay of that actually. Now, as we can see, Vroom and Castor are going side by side. Castor has barely tapped Vroom, and Vroom decides, you know what, I'm gonna destroy you and my race as well. So that was not very bright from Vroom, but as we carry on, it was, that was a pretty filthy move actually. I might need to take a shower after this race honestly. But yeah, carrying on right here, right behind Ridge Rider, and kind of swirling around with my car. But as we can see at the top right screen, we can see someone else is binning it, which is Potato, who was in P5. And they're gonna have to serve a 1.5 second penalty because they hit the wall. As we're gonna carry on right here onto the first corner off the second lap right here, and braking just in time. Ridge Rider broke way too early, so I just had to go to the right and not hit them as we carry on onto the final turn of lap number 2. We can see Hasta Dictator, who was featured in our last video actually. If you want to check it out, there's a top right card thing which you can click on right now. And as we go into the first corner, Hasta Dictator is going very defensive, and then we're going to go a little bit of side by side just for a moment there, and we're going to carry on back to it, and we're going to go into this right long hander once again. Gonna try and nib it on the inside of the next corner actually. Hopefully I'll be able to get it done. Going on to Huss's point of view, and we can see that I am going a little bit too much to the right. I'm trying not to hit them, so I must have lifted off over there just a little bit. And Huss here is still side by side with me and has almost gotten that position done. And as we're gonna carry on into this tricky left and right corner, and Huss goes way too deep, and fortunately for them, they're gonna eat some gravel over there, and that is gonna grant me P6. And as we're gonna carry on onto the final lap with the final last couple corners, we can see that was actually the leader who binned it, and is gonna grant me P5 right back from where I started actually, which I'm very happy for, you know. Started 5th, went to 12th, and got back to 5th in a 4-lap race. That was a pretty good thing in my opinion. Really good stuff. Very good. Now we're gonna carry on to the next race, which I start 5th once again. However, Vroom is gonna be P4 this time, and I was very aware of what they have done in the previous race. So I almost hit the back of them because I did manage to brake just in time. They have a slight little lag over there, which does give them a small little boost right from me, and we're gonna go right behind them, very close indeed. Am I gonna try and look onto the inside? No, not yet. And I'm trying to stick right behind them, and I'm not gonna leave them alone because I really want to try and get to the podium position. And as we go right here into this left corner, they kinda not make it go well, so I just say, you know what, that's my position, man. Like, you're gonna leave the door open for me, thank you very much. So we go right here, just a tiny little bit over the track's limits. I'm gonna get a half a second penalty right here, unfortunately for me. And as we carry on with Vroom right behind me, we're gonna go into this short little straight, and we're gonna jump onto their point of view. I outbroke myself a little bit right here, and I did not leave the track. However, they did not give me enough space, and they just pumped me off, pit maneuvered me onto the grass. They did not really care. They barely lifted. They could have sticked more to the left, but nevertheless, we're gonna carry on to lap number 2, into this whole group of cars right here that are having a kerfuffle. And I'm gonna go side by side with Torix right around here, and they have not lifted. I think it was kind of on me because I showed my nose, you know, a little bit too late over there. And we can see Earn Dog also serving a penalty. Now we go on to Ridge Rider's perspective as we all try to make it go, and we kind of don't, but Earn Dog has managed to make that corner beautifully done. I don't understand why they're kind of ghosting out over there, but unfortunately for them, they eat the gravel as well, and that gives me P9. Now we're gonna jump forward to the final lap. We're gonna jump onto Derby's POV. Now I have no idea why, but they decided to full send themselves onto Ultra Don Don, and I've tried to look onto the replay with anything between them. Has anything went wrong? But apparently not. Nothing went wrong. I don't understand that. So anyways, I gained 2 positions within 3 corners in the final lap, and I managed to finish P7. So started P5, went into the back once again, and this time I managed to be P7. But as you can see, Derby, they had a 3-second penalty. I don't think it was really worth it actually, because they still lost the position, so it just made them look bad. Anyways, going for another qualifying lap time here, and I get a 140.1 195, which actually should bring me a little bit closer to P1 over here, and that actually makes me start at P3. So as we carry on with this race, nothing really happened in the first lap, so we're just gonna jump onto lap number 2. And as we go onto the first corner right here, actually this was a pretty intense race, a very short one, because P1 and P2 had major battles while I tried to keep my foot down and go the fastest I can without getting any track limit penalties and still trying to keep up. Maybe they would battle it so hard they'll lose a lot of time and make a lot of mistakes. As we can see right here, they're going side by side over here, making them lose a lot of crucial time. But the guy behind me, Joy Striker, is also in the game as well. As we go into this corner, I hit More Power Baby just a tiny little bit, and I did not want to finish that move because I deemed it myself as unclean overtake over here, which I did not want for that to happen. So as we carry on right here, we're very, very close indeed, and Joy Striker is actually getting closer and closer behind us. And as we carry on into this right-hander, into this back straight, we're gonna carry on, and hopefully I'll be able to do something and get this position. However, I do go a little bit too deep and I didn't want to hit them once again, so I backed off from that. Carry on to lap number 3. We're gonna go into the first corner. Power Baby and Phil are going side by side right into the first corner, and they almost get it all sorts of wrong, kind of clean with a little bit of contact, and I just capitalized over that and I managed to get into P2 for now, and I'm right behind Phil. Hopefully I can get P1 as well, which there've been a lot of fighting over here. Maybe I can do that, maybe not. We'll see right now as we go into this right-hander. I do hope to get it, but Phil got the inside, so I got for the outside right over here. More Power Baby is gonna snatch my position very, very elegantly, I must add. That was beautifully done. So I back out of this just a tiny bit because I don't want to go side by side onto here. I don't want to be pushed accidentally to the gravel to the right, and we live to fight another day. As we go onto this left corner right here, I touch More Power Baby just a tiny little bit, and I did not want to overtake like that. As we carry on onto the finish line, we can see I started P3 and I'm going to finish in P3. Not much was happening over here, but as we can see, the top 4 are 2 seconds away from each other, which is actually very good for a race like this, a sprint race in Catalunya. Now we're going to carry on onto the next race. I started P4. Now unfortunately right here I broke a little bit too late and I hit Seamus right onto his right side, and I just let him go. I did not want to overtake him like that. That was a mistake on my part. As we carry on right here, K24 is gonna nib it from the outside with a beautiful move actually. And as we go into the replay cam right here, this is so beautiful. So many cars just going over here in this race. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. Now Seamus here has managed to nib the inside of K24, and I'm gonna try the outside, but it doesn't really work. There's a slight bit of contact here, and Noodle actually came out of nowhere and manages to also overtake me. Now the thing is here that I kind of clipped the grass and I hit K24, which I did not want to do at all, which sent them over to the gravel into the Shadow Realm. So I just wait for them until they can return onto the track, which, you know, honest mistake. I didn't really want to do that at all. I just lost the car, but funnily enough, they just carry on over there. So that was not really my fault that they just kept on going straight instead of turning right on the right hand corner. But as we carry on right here, I am right behind Boons 007. Hopefully I can get this move done. Now I dropped to P14 because of all that, which was my mistake, and I'm trying to own it. So we're gonna go right here. They're gonna go side by side, and Boons 007 is actually gonna back out of it. Taxi Penguin hits Sai Rush, and Sai Rush is actually gonna hit me on this right corner right before this main straight. As we're gonna carry on right here into Boons 007's perspective, they're gonna bump draft Sai Rush, right here, and Argy-Bargy is going to try and go onto my right hand, but unfortunately for them, they break way too soon, and I break just in time, almost hitting the taxi penguin actually, and I actually do hit them, but I didn't know what it was going on right here with this all sorts of lag. Now this is really scary. Seeing all that in a race is really off-putting, so it did get fixed pretty quickly though. It was just a lag spike just for a moment there, and hopefully and thankfully it was fixed really quickly. As I'm gonna go side by side with the taxi penguin right here, I'm gonna nib it into the inside and get the job done. So one lap so far, lap number 2, I've gone from 14th to 11th, which is really good. As we jumping onto lap number 3, I can see Max Vez and Noodle had their own fight. Noodle managed to overtake Max Vez, and I'm gonna try to overtake them as well, which I hope I will be able to do so in this lap. That way I can get into the top 10, because P10 is right there honestly. So I go into the inside of here. Max Vez is giving me lots of space. That's beautiful racing from them. I'm very happy for that. Great sportsmanship right there, giving me lots of space. And I'm gonna keep on from the outside, gonna try the all switcheroo. As we go right here, I almost hit the back of them, but I managed to hold it together and do it cleanly enough. As we go over here, the penalty zone is right here, and Noodle's gonna serve it just half a second penalty, and I'm gonna go into the inside. Hopefully I'll be able to manage this through, and I do. So they did not manage to do the old switcheroo, and as we can see, Max Verhamilton has a half a second penalty right here, and we're gonna go onto this right sweeping right corner, and they broke, which you don't really break over there, you just have to lift, but they go way too wide over here, which gives me the opportunity to nib it from the inside and carry on onto the main straight in 8th position, right behind Yogi 2002, which they are going defensive in the first corner. However, Max Verhamilton has gotten a little bit of a contact, and that sends them right off, which put me off over there. I did not want to get into that, and Yogi here is going side by side with me, which is going in a very clean way, and they are gonna defend this in a very beautiful way. As we can see right here, they do manage to do that. I'm trying my best not to hit them behind at all, trying my best to be as clean as I can, and Yogi's gonna go defensive right here. Once again, we're gonna go side by side right over here onto this left corner. As we carry on onto this downhill and into this left and right corner, unfortunately for me, Yogi kind of had contact with me, and Noodle also punted me off just a tiny little bit, which does make me need to defend my position against Noodle. So I do stick to the left right here so I can show them, hey, I'm going defensive. But unfortunately for me, I broke way too early, which lets Noodle actually go and make the move on the outside, which was a really beautiful move. Well done, Noodle. That was really good. Didn't really like the tiny little contact you gave me over there earlier, but you know, it was a really good move nevertheless. And wow, that was very creepy lag over there at the very end. But yeah, I finished P9, which, you know, I can do better, but you only get what you're given with a 4-lap race. So I'm gonna carry on, and I tried to keep on practicing, but that happened, and yeah, what was that? I don't know what was that past Grandpa. I'm sure it was some sort of a bug. Let's test that again. But yeah, I tried to test it again, but I didn't have enough time to do that actually, so I didn't do it again, because next race is literally the last race that I'm gonna do. And Gager Gamer, they overcooked the corner just a little too much, and I am giving them the space. They did push me a little bit to the side, but I do have the inside of this corner right here, which we are giving each other as much space as possible, as much as we can right here. As we go onto this right corner right here, I still have the space from them. They're still giving me plenty of room, which I'm very grateful for. And as we go, we're gonna skip this into lap number 2. As we can see, the Smith is right in front of me and P3 is right in my sights. Hopefully I can get the podium right here. And as we break right here, I do manage to lunge it, and Smith actually has given me a lot of space to make this move go through. Thank you, the Smith. That was actually really good. Now, as we carry on onto the last corner of lap number 3, Seamus here has completely bitten it, and that actually gives me P2, and that was it for the whole race. I managed to finish in P2, as we can see in the final last corners, and these whole races were really enjoyable. Even if we had a little bit of punts, a little bit of dirtiness, a little bit of cleanness, it was so much fun. This race, I didn't think that I would enjoy Catalunya as much as I did. So, finished in P2. That was really good. I'm very proud of myself, and if you want to see all the unedited versions of these races, the links are in the description down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.